I can't do this by myself. Hey yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Manny. I'm coming to you live from the Manny J Media headquarters here in Worcester, Massachusetts, and I'm here with someone so near and dear to my heart, truly. Someone that I've known for a very, very long time. Someone who I've looked up to. Someone who I view as one of the ultimate pillars of this community. Not that you would say that because you're very humble, but I do view someone who has raised another generation of pillars to this community. A mother to my brothers, a mother to myself, Miss Dianne Langford James. It's so good to see you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
so
you.
Good to be here. So Welcome. Good to be here. Thank you.
I've been wanting to do this with you for so long. The good thing is both of us are busy.
Yes.
So our schedules often don't really match up. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because everything's on God's time.
Such a time as this. And here we are. And it's good to be here. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you
I'm so proud of you. And like we say, we see each other passing and working and doing the things we need to do within the community and for our families and, of course, for God.
Right.
And we always say, okay, we're going to get in touch. We're going to get in touch. We're going to get in touch. The last time I saw you, I said, okay, Dianne, enough is enough.
Right.
Okay, let's get in touch.
And the thing is, I know it's nothing. There's always an element of when you know someone's always going to be there, right? And you know that that person is always going to understand. And when you know that there's things that aren't necessarily more important, but take precedent in the moment.
Okay.
Manny will be all right. Let me go take care of these people who really need me first. Okay. And I'll get back to Manny, and we'll get together when we're supposed to get together.
Wow.
Right? You know what I mean? And I have those same things, you know, where I know my Auntie Dianne is always going to be there. I don't want to think about
We're taking a moment.
I don't want to think about the alternative. But that's why you can't take it for granted. And you always got to show up and show love. And every time I see you, we always show each other so much love. And I just want to start by thanking you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for always showing up for us. Thank you for being that motherly figure to so many of us, and mainly boys, out here in the community. And I say that with purpose because there's a lot of boys in this community who maybe their moms are busy working, maybe their moms had trauma and whatever reasons that they may not be able to provide that type of motherly affection, as you will. And you know, we're raised to be hard, right? But then here you come, Auntie Dianne, coming out, making sure that we all feel love, making sure we all get that hug, making sure that we all feel our sense of purpose out here, because it's true. There's a lot of us out here that just don't get that at home. And I say us, but honestly, Ma, I love you so much, and I'm not really talking about me. I just appreciate a lot of love, so I'm so lucky that I get to get extra love out in the streets with Dianne here. But it's true. You always showing up for us, and thank you.
Wow. You just said a whole lot.
Yeah.
You just said a whole lot. And what I'm taking from you is you have such a great soul. You understand legacy. You understand wisdom. You understand individuals. And of course, being a man, you understand that I feel that our men have been bamboozled.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know, we can give 1,000 reasons why.
Right.
but they haven't been nurtured and held high and acknowledged and appreciated for who they really are. So you said a whole lot, but I want to thank you for having that core being in you and the respect that you have. That is not often, because in our world, everybody is so busy trying to get what they have to get.
Yeah.
That they don't even understand where people are in life.
Right.
You know, including myself, you know.
And for a long time, myself. And even sometimes, you know, you always get that little bit of, what they call it? Not today, Satan, that tries to wiggle into your morning. we always get that pops up on us. Because we're human, right?
Right.
None of us are perfect. Even though I might look perfect for pound count. Especially when I get my hair cut, I know.
Anyhow. But I was always taught about respect.
Yeah.
Respect for elderlies. Respect for the wisdom.
Yeah.
I mean, even today, I say, yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, sir. I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Can I ask you, do you have any idea what happened to that? Because our generation, specifically speaking, my generation, and even me sometimes, have lost that respect and appreciation for our elders. Like, what happened? Can I blame it on you and my mom? Like, you guys fault? Like, you're the ones who raised us so independently? I need an excuse here.
I just don't think a lot of time that people are present and intentional.
Yeah.
I think that we're moving in what kind of direction, and there's so many variables from your generation to our generations, but we're so busy trying to get to a place that we're not stopping and smelling the flowers in between time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And understanding where we're at and who's who.
Right.
You know, because we all have opinions.
Yeah.
And the opinions is not the fact of knowing somebody to their true value.
Because it's just an opinion.
We judge, and it's just
not based in fact at all.
Right.
You didn't do your research.
Right.
And when it comes to people, in order to make any kind of, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but you have to do your research. You have to look into why people are the way they are. You know, even when you do that, it's so easy to judge, but you still shouldn't judge. Compassion and understanding is where that research should take you.
Absolutely. But I believe that it really starts with knowing yourself. Yeah. Because when you know yourself, and when you have compassion, when you have empathy, when you have respect, then all the rest takes care. So it's knowing yourself and who you
Cleaning
really
your own
are.
house first.
Yeah, slow it down a bit. Yeah, the life goes too fast. My uncle, who is 94 years old, said, we get old too fast. And I can check that box.
I can.
Check a check.
I know I'm still kind of a baby maybe to you, but these gray hairs on my chin.
They're going quick, right? We get old too fast.
My 16-year-old kid. Ew.
And smart too late. Can you imagine?
I don't like it.
We don't come with instructions.
Right.
But there's so much good information out there today that we can learn so much so quickly and make this world a better place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, make this world better.
And I feel like that's one of the things that I strive to do is to make sure that our community at least has access and an easy to find free. Because I don't understand people that charge for information. How dare you gonna charge to educate somebody? I don't know. That seems a little archaic to me. It brings me back to the 1800s, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
like
there's value to everything too. Man, there's value to everything. And if people don't invest in their own selves, we can invest in everything else: shoes, jackets, clothes, jewelry, everything. But we don't invest in ourselves, which is one of the best investments we could ever make. Right. Providing you're doing what you need to do.
Absolutely. And I will say that that's one of the gifts that you blessed me with. Back when I first started in this media venture, when I was working at Unity Radio. Shout out Unity Radio, by the way.
Shout it out.
Because you never forget where you came from, right? And where we come from, just like in life and in families, may not always be perfect. And you may not always want to acknowledge or go back to that. You still need to keep it in your heart, in your mind, that that's where I came from. And without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be who I am today. And so, yeah, shout out to Unity Radio. Because with that, I was put in a position and given an opportunity where one day I had a mental breakdown. And that mental breakdown, luckily, was in front of you. And it was because of that opportunity, because of where I was, that I was able to be in a safe place to be my true, authentic self in that time and receive the blessing I needed at that time. To give a little bit of context, I was feeling very overworked, overwhelmed, and underappreciated. And I'm a very emotional person. And at first, I often respond with anger, hostility, those defense mechanisms of like, you're not going to get to me, I'm going to get to you first type deal. And when that didn't work, I had nowhere else to go. I felt like an animal trapped in a corner where all I could do was just break down and cry. And I think that was my call for help. I saw love in the building through you. And at that time, I needed love. And you came and you loved me. But the beautiful thing is, you didn't just love me like, coddle me and be like, it's okay, man, you're going to be just fine. And, screw those people or whatever it was that or most people may be seeking when they're in that situation validation. Of not receiving that validation they're looking for. You gave me a quick little hug, but also a swift kick in the butt and said, now get up because you're better than this and you could do it. And
focus on you. Focus on you and what you can do.
You told me the validation I need comes from inside. I don't need all that validation. And granted, full disclosure, I still look for it. John, thank you so much.
That's
I appreciate you.
Right.
I seek his validation
it's
every day.
Nice. It works.
So I'm working on it. But because of that, I was able to climb out of that hole that I was in at that time and keep moving. Right? Because the only way to get out of something that you're not happy about or that you don't like is you got to remove yourself from said situation.
Not only did you have a breakdown, but you had a breakthrough.
Wow. You see, that's why she's on the show. Because it's just today I'm realizing that. I didn't even realize that. I'm today years old.
Because you was right there. You was looking me right in the eye. You was focused and you believed. When you have people that you can trust, when you have people that you can believe in, then you're receiving.
Right.
And you was looking.
Yeah.
And you was receiving. And so, yes, you got to have. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then let's go. Let's go. What's next?
And I like to say that you saw something in me even before I did. Or I like to think that
absolutely.
way.
Without a doubt.
And
Without a doubt.
It wasn't validation, it was reassurance. Like, okay, somebody else is telling me I could do this, but I need to do it. And it needs to be on my time, right? Like, I need to be ready to do it. I need to be ready to do the work. I need to have the motivation and the drive to get it. But just hearing that I can was so important. And even more important than hearing that I can is not having someone try to do it for me or try to lead me in any way, but you already know what to do, now go do it.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge, and you did. You had a breakthrough, and you went ahead, and I saw you work through it.
And
it wasn't an easy ride.
Not
I saw
at all.
you.
It was very bumpy.
I saw you, but I also saw who you were.
Yeah.
And I saw how bad you were.
And we've gone through ups and downs throughout the way. Even now, like I've had my ups and my downs this past year. You know what I'm saying? And this has been the first year of my business being where I'm not working for somebody else. This is Manny J Media, right? The people that I do work with. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I can't believe how far I've come. And by the way, all right, first I want to say it's Manny J Media. It's technically my business, I guess, if you will, but it's our business in that I have a remarkable team that works with me.
Oh, yes, you do.
Shout out to John. Shout out to Dianne. Shout out to Mama J Media. Shout out to my kids who are my source of inspiration. And actually, they're the Jaden, Akeem, and Ethan.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
How sweet is that? Say their names again.
Jaden, Akeem, and Ethan.
Well, there you go.
Those are my boys. And so I wanted to make this a legacy company, and every time my name was said, it reminds me of why I'm doing this. And it's not just for my boys. My boys are a representation of my future.
There you go.
Okay?
The legacy.
So it's a legacy company. But also for all of our children, right?
Absolutely.
We got to keep our children in mind because one day I'm not going to be able to do this no more. I might need PCA services myself. Who knows, right?
Well,
yeah, listen.
If we're blessed, I mean,
maybe we won't.
PCA, but you know what I'm
but
saying?
You never know.
But
I might be to a point where I want to prepare my children, and not my kids, not my biological kids, but my children, the children of the future, to be able to be as confident, or even more so, more confident, more driven, more motivated to do everything we're doing even better. Even better.
That's why I love the Torch program. We'll shift right there.
Let's go. Let's go into it. Because I do want to talk more about you, because I've been talking a whole lot about myself, but it's because you're such an inspiration to me, and I thank you and I love you so much. But let's shift it a little bit, because the Torch program.
Oh my God.
Listen,
my God. For our teenagers, the Torch Foundation.
So let's just I'll shut up for a second. Tell me about Torch Foundation.
The Torch Foundation is a personal development for teenagers. Personal development, social, emotional leadership training.
Yeah.
And it's epic.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 days of explosive. We take them through life, through experiences and exercises, and then we bring them back into today. See, they haven't been here long enough. So they don't have enough tools to make their best choices and decisions, or to take responsibility.
On top of it, the time that they have been here, we've been taking care of them. We've been making sure that they don't need the tools or anything, because we get them through what they got to get through, right? So they. How can we blame them for not having it?
Yeah, this is true. I mean, we do the best we can. You know, it takes a village. It really does. But how can we, as you just said, have them be the best version, the blessed version of themselves so much earlier?
Yeah.
And take responsibility.
And making that transition into, I don't want to say adulthood, but into responsibility.
Into responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I realized, right? That I was out here trying to help everybody else and change everybody else. And when I realized that I was the only one that needed to take responsibility for me, that was the only power that I did have, it was so much easier because I could take responsibility for me.
And then if we each come together with
take responsibility, it's
with
easy.
Ourselves, taking care of ourselves, then we can come together and actually take care of a purpose.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine taking responsibility? So that's what we do at the Torch Foundation, and
we weren't really raised to believe that.
Oh,
because listen, we have not to make it political, but I'm just saying we have a whole government full of people who don't know. They're not very good at taking responsibility.
Well, that's why we've got to focus on ourselves and our families, our communities. Because if we're not, there's too many distractions out here. Besides all of that, there's too many distractions. There's social media. There's this. There's that. There's so many distractions out here. It's pathetic.
Of lies,
you know.
It's a web of lies, and it's so easy to get caught up in that web of believing you need to be something or someone that you really don't need to be.
Yeah. So if you're interested, anyone out there, school officials, organizations, all of that, in regards to the Torch Foundation, you can reach me, Dianne Langford James, on any social media. It's amazing. We're back in person, and it is epic.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
epic.
Tell me a little bit about the program you got going, the programming you got going on now. Like walk me through
the Torch Foundation?
A day at the Torch Foundation.
Oh my goodness. So we enroll the kids, number one, and it's a choice. Not you have to, because no, we want them to choose in. So we speak to their hearts and say, do you want to be better in everything that you're doing? Would you like a great summer if it's summertime? Would you like to be better personally? What are your dreams? What are your goals? If you know them, fine. And if you don't, that's fine too, because we get to find them out. So we talk to them. Would you like to be better sooner than later? We're going to give you some tools so that you don't have to go down some of those dead ends that people have been down, right? Or whatever, roadblocks or whatever. We're going to give you some tools so you can be the best version of yourself and reach the goals while you're here. Why are you here? You're here with a gift that you have ultimately. Yeah, we have to work. Yeah, we have to go to school. Absolutely. Your job right now is to go to school. Get your job done. Be the best version of yourself. But how can you be in school when there's so many distractions and you're not present or intentional in school? You're just there. I'm in school, right?
And I think another great aspect of the Torch Foundation is individuality, encouraging individuality. Throughout school, it's very easy to fall into the trap of impressing your peers,
Sure.
or peer pressure.
When
like,
you don't know, you don't know.
You
When
know,
you don't know,
it's
you don't know.
you know the whole being a nerd thing. When in actuality,
that's a good thing.
It is.
I'll be a
It's
good
a great
nerd.
thing. That means that I'm
Everything's a
doing
good
what I'm here for. I'm not here to entertain you, which is not my job.
Yeah.
But we need to help our kids understand that it's not a bad thing to not worry about other people, but to
focus on what you're here
yourself.
for.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. We get them in a room for 2 days, 2 complete days, right? And they look around, and by the time they're finished, they realize, wow, I'm not the only one going through this, because naturally you think you're the only one going through it.
Right.
Wow, okay. And then we give them tools where they can have compassion with somebody else and empathy, because you don't know what that person's going through. Hurt people. Heals people.
Speak on it.
Heals people.
Speak on it. I lived it too, because
So
I hurt people when I was hurt, and now I'm doing my best to spread the love.
Yeah.
So
when you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
I believe that everybody is doing or has done the best they could at the given time. Whatever it is.
Right.
You know, even myself, raising my grandkids, right? I had used for a while. I came back. I'm taking care of my grandkids, but I'm freshly in recovery. And at that time, I have done the best I could. Do I know more now? Absolutely.
Right.
Because that's what life is all about.
Right.
We're always learning. We're always getting better. But at the time, in the given time, I did the best I could with the tools that I had.
Right.
And I have to understand that, too. Because if not, then you can have guilt of, why didn't I do this? Or why didn't that happen? Or why wasn't this person helping me? But back to the Torch Foundation, 2 days, amazing, 1 month of coaching. Oh, my God. Yeah. It is like night and day. Why? Because the teens understand the root of the cause. Whatever narrative they've told themselves or story up to them, that's their story. Yeah. We help them reframe it so they win. Word. That's amazing. Let's reframe that story. Like, my dad left when I was 7. So when I grew up, that's all I used to say. Dad left when I was 7. Dad left when I was 7. Right? Then I realized not only did he leave me, he left my sisters too. Then I realized what happened to us. You understand? So I reframed the story on time afterwards. That my dad really did the best he could with the tools he had. He couldn't give me something he didn't have. Right.
Isn't that powerful?
Oh my gosh.
And the fact that, there's an understanding that maybe people aren't doing things to you. They're doing things
because that's all they know
for themselves.
They don't know that they don't know.
Or maybe they're even they might think that they're doing a good thing.
Or it could be intentional. We don't know. But for the most part, I don't believe that we as human beings are that type of people.
But usually, a lot of children take on things that happen with their parents as though it's something personal.
Cycles, baby.
And it's really not.
Cycles, and then the cycles.
What another great transition. Because you have an amazing book, and it's called Breaking Cycles. But we're not going to get into that yet. Because we have some sponsors. How cool is that? How cool is that?
So
we got
cool.
sponsors that take care of our show.
Oh my God, them sponsors. Thank you, sponsors.
Aren't they amazing? It means the world to us. And I do want to thank you. So we're going to take a moment to do that right now. My boy John, take it away.
Manny J Media is brought to you by...
Hey, what's good, everybody, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Innerviews here on Manny J Media with my most adored community pillar, Miss Dianne Langford James. Thank you so much for being here. Before we continue on to the little cliffhanger we have before the break, I do want to let everybody know that we are trying to be accessible as possible. So not only can you watch us on Facebook now, but if you have any friends or family who don't have Facebook pages, which I totally understand, because sometimes Facebook can be, listen, I've been needing breaks from
here. That's okay, but
I need some breaks from Facebook. I know I didn't even share it to my page. It's okay. It happens. It'll be shared when it's supposed to be, right? People will see it. But if you don't do Facebook, that's cool, because we're on YouTube, and you don't even need a subscription to YouTube. You don't need to sign up for it. You can just go to our @Manny J Media on YouTube page and watch these videos. This one is actually being streamed there live as well. So pick your Poison, what platform you appreciate, and go. Please subscribe, like, follow, share, all that stuff, which is the best way you can support us. It takes no time at all, and it's free.
Yes, God.
So if I can have you guys do that, I know a lot of you in the community already have, and to you guys, I appreciate you so much, and thank you. It means the world to me. So with that being said, we are breaking cycles over here. So let me bring it back to me for a second, because I went through a lot, and I was literally going through a cycle of self-loathing, a lot of self-damaging ideologies and patterns. And I had to get out of that train of thought, and pick a path. Instead of going around in a circle, go somewhere, go forward, go upward. And from what I understand, that's a lot about what you talk about in your new book, Breaking Cycles. So tell me a bit about that. How'd that come about?
Well, real quickly, I believe people really don't care how much you know or what you do until they know how much you care. So just a little broad strokes real quick.
I like that.
I might be talking to you. Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, I like
Put
that.
it in your pocket. Use it.
I'll take that for later.
So broad strokes about me. Married twice, blended family. We have 6 children, 21 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren. I am 32 years clean and sober.
I'm sorry, time out. 21 grandchildren? God bless you. You are gorgeous. I'm just saying.
Raised 3 grandchildren, thank you.
I was thinking those grandkids are her kids.
Raised 3 grandchildren.
They're her kids. She don't look like she got grandchildren. Go ahead.
Raised 3 grandkids for 20 years. Oh, God. Maya Angelou says, do the best you can until you know better.
Hey.
And then when you know better, do better.
Love Maya.
So raised 3 grandkids. First generation college graduate.
Congratulations.
All the grandkids I raised and others college graduates.
She says she loves you.
And, thank you, say, love you too. And I don't say that to impress you. I say to impress upon you that there is nothing in this world you can't do. And so with that being said, I was called, thank you God, to write a book called Breaking Cycles and Building Your Legacies. There it is.
Is that available on Amazon right now?
Yes, it is.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Go get your
Barnes
copy.
and Nobles. So the Breaking Cycles is about my fall with addiction. I lost 10 years of my life.
Wow.
A decade. Ooh, please. Because I'm 72 years young, by the way. Shut the front door. Okay, stop. Don't. Let me continue. Let me continue.
I never had the nerve to ask your age, but wow, I mean, I looked at your kids and I was like, I mean,
she got to be up there
her
somewhere.
kids
Do
are
the math.
grown.
Do the math. Right, do the math.
Wow, you look amazing.
Thank you. Nothing but the grace.
You know what they say? We ain't gonna say it, but you know
we
what
ain't
they say.
We ain't gonna say it. So lost a decade, and now once I hit 70, the pandemic hit and all sorts of stuff happened, and once I hit 70, I knew I was going to write a book, and God said to me, "If not now, when, Dianne? Because we're not here forever.
Right.
We are. That's the real.
I mean, looking at you, you might be, but I hear what you're saying.
Well, the Bible says the latter years will be your best, and they're talking to me. That's
okay.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, but and so I got serious with it. In any ways, it came to fruition, and I wrote it for 3 reasons. Number 1, to give hope, because in recovery, the statistics are not good.
Right.
So I got it to give hope because we do recover, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
it's a personal journey. Each and everybody recovers at their own path.
That's it. But when we have more information, then we can support each other with more information. I believe it's a disease. And I believe when we arrest the disease and realize, okay, now I can get my life back. Yeah. I don't believe anybody says.
Can I ask you on a serious note? Because I do hear a lot of this. This is one of those polarizing topics. Why do you think it's a disease versus a choice? Because everybody makes that initial choice to pick up that blunt, to pick up that bowl, to pick up
that
whatever.
was a choice. That was a choice. Okay. Oh, you're 100% right. That was a choice. Nobody got me into it, even though I was with other people. Right. I made a choice to pick it up.
Right. You could have said no. You could have walked away.
Stop. That's where the disease comes in. Okay. When it really controls you. It controls your thoughts. It makes you think, oh, I'll stop tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, this is poor me, poor me. Right. Oh, I deserve this. Oh, let me just not have to think about anything. It actually, when you have a mind-altering substance in you, it thinks for you. Right. It does all the thinking for you. until you can come to some clarity. And then when you come to some clarity, then you can make another choice, whether you're going to or not.
Right. And I also feel like there's a huge, giant component, particularly amongst the Black and brown communities, of trauma and self-medication.
Sure.
Because it's real easy to say, I'm having a bad day today, I've gone through this, I've faced this barrier, whatever have you, I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy myself, a nice little peace of mind, whatever your poison is, right?
Well, I want to say this to you, right? Any mind-altering substance is going to take us away from our primary goal.
Okay.
That's my thought process, okay?
It's a distraction.
It's a distraction, period. I mean, a lot of people can use the safety. That's okay. I just want to get cutting using safety. So, again, I don't believe anybody grows up and says, I want to be an addict. I shouldn't, I shouldn't. And then here I found myself.
I'm going to be real. I never thought I would smoke weed.
Thank you.
My whole time growing
Thank
up,
you.
I saw people smoke weed, and I'm like, I would never do that. That looks gross, whatever. And now here I am smoking weed. So it is what it is, full disclosure.
I was real young, and I watched Diana Ross and Lady Sings the Blues. I believe that's what it was, yeah. And I watched her do drugs, and I said to myself, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
And then it left my mind some way because you get into your emotions.
Right.
And poor me, and whatever you're going through at the first time, you don't want to deal with it. But life is about dealing. Life is lifing.
Right.
And so I wrote it for hope, number one. Then I wrote it with a formula. Because I believe in things keeping simple. So I have a 4C formula. If it happened to me, oh my God. And people will tell you, right? I still was the same person, but I was lost out there. My cousin had said, when I came to Worcester to get clean, where's Dee Dee? Because my nickname is Dee Dee. And they said, in Worcester, she got clean. He said, oh, I'm going to Worcester because if she can get clean, anybody can get clean.
Right.
Can you imagine?
That's crazy.
And he came and he's been clean.
Yeah.
Okay? And so then I wrote it with a formula, 4Cs it's called. Find out, identify the cycle. Now, there's more cycles than addiction.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of cycles out there that we can break because every generation ought to be better than the last. Ooh. So find the cycle. That's not serving you or your family. And let's go ahead and decide to be the game changer.
Right.
Ooh. Then the second thing was challenges. There's going to be challenges. There's triggers.
Right.
There's people, places, and things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when we know it, now we're aware. I knew that was going to happen. So now you make a choice.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do with what I know?
In or out?
Right.
There's no gray area. There's no gray area. You're going to live that life because it goes by quick.
Right.
It goes by quick. It's not a dress rehearsal.
And listen, I've been saying I'm going to do it a lot. I'm going to do it tomorrow about a lot of things.
It's not a dress rehearsal.
And those tomorrows come very fast.
Very fast.
And they pass very fast.
Thank you.
If they do. On top of it all, if you get that tomorrow.
Then the choice is in or out, right? And then the call to action. Because if you don't, write it down. And if you don't, have deadlines. You're not going to do it. Right. Period. You're not going to be accountable. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. Now, life is going to be life. And again, you're going to do the things, but stay the course. Yeah. Stay the course. Stay the course. And so then I wrote it for legacy. And then I said, okay, I'm writing it for a legacy for my grandchildren and children, their children's children. And they said her younger years. I said, okay. Careful. Careful. But anyways, it is.
I look all put together and wonderful and the great grandma now.
Oh, help me, Lord.
I was also human at one point. No, you're still human. But
so I wrote that. But as time goes and you learn, not only will they know about me, but I wrote about my parents. So they know about their great parents. And then I wrote about my grandmother and grandfather. So we're talking real legacy here. Right. We're talking real legacy. And if I can write a book, anybody can write a book.
Really?
Anybody can write a book. Yes, sir. Just make a decision.
Wow.
Make a decision.
And, what I'm hearing from you is, life does not come with a handbook.
That's right.
But this is pretty close to a good handbook, right?
This is somewhat of a handbook.
It's at least preventative.
With the world.
What I love about this is I've always said a lot of what's going on in our community as far as violence, as far as any negative connotations towards gangs, any severe, I don't want to say severe, any type of mental health issues where there's violence or just negativity or hurt or pain or trauma or any of that. First of all, it starts at home first. But I feel like by making preventative measures specifically with our children and preventing them from having to, well, I mean, I guess you can't prevent everything, but at least preparing them.
Absolutely. So they make a choice. If they have the information, they can make a choice. Now, if they, whatever choice they make, they make.
I mean, I guess we can't control everything, but I do feel like it would help if children were better prepared.
Come on.
So when they do get out there, they don't make the easy choice. They actually think about the choice that they need to make.
Absolutely. And for that, I want to give a shout out to D.A. Early.
Absolutely.
And Sheriff Lou. Oh, my God. You know, we're talking prevention.
Absolutely.
You know, we're talking prevention for these kids and some early intervention. And that's why we work with teenagers to do their torch training.
Yeah.
And then, of course, so many things happen. And now they're awake, present, and intentional.
Right.
And graduation goes up.
Yeah.
The community's better. The families are better.
Right.
Everything is.
And bringing it back to the families, that pain and trauma that comes with criminal activity and, you know, your family member going through the court
being
system,
in the wrong place
being in
at the
jail,
wrong place,
all
that.
All the way up to you or somebody you love potentially even losing their life due to poor decision making.
Absolutely.
Even if it's being in the wrong place at the wrong time, someone there made a choice that got
That's right. That's right.
whole
That's right.
thing
You
to
made
happen.
a choice, just like I made a choice to pick up that.
And honestly, one of the reasons why I started doing what I did is because I have 3 sons, Jaden, Akeem, and Ethan. Say their names again, Jaden.
Say
Akeem,
that one more
and
time.
Ethan.
Say it clearer.
Jaden, Akeem, and Ethan.
Come on, somebody.
Aren't those beautiful strong
So
names?
beautiful names.
And so, a little bit of background on them. Their mother is from Jamaica.
Okay.
She's from Philadelphia, which some people try to convince me didn't exist, but I checked with her.
No,
it is Philadelphia, Jamaica, which is a very small, economically suffering town in Jamaica. Which I just want to say, when my son was born, we didn't go to the resorts. We went to her mother's house, and my son got to see how his family lives, because I think that's very important. The point of me saying all this is she came here at 16 years old. She worked with a pregnant belly and everything, sweating her brains out in a kitchen in a hospital that now she's in a director position.
Come on, somebody.
How crazy.
Of course.
How amazing
of
is
course.
that? Not crazy.
Hard working, work ethic.
It's beautiful.
Work ethic. Work ethic.
But at the end of the day, no matter what she does, no matter what I do, we have 3 black sons. And I've watched over the past few years, at least since I started in 2019 doing the media stuff. I know, John, we got to wrap. I'm gonna wrap soon. Our boys killing each other, right? We have fears of the boogeyman. We have fears of even other races, let's be honest. But how often, the only time we talk about our boys killing each other is at the vigils. We ain't preparing them for not doing that.
There's stuff out here, we'll talk about that. There's stuff out here we get to go inside to. And it's inside work, period. It's inside work, reframing this narrative. Reframing the narrative. Giving them the tools and techniques.
Our kids to
I'm
make
telling you,
but
that
it takes
is
all
the
of us to do it.
equation that we have been missing for humanity. Is inside work. And that's why I love transformation. Love with torch training. And like you say, also, when the kids were being transformed, the mothers were like, what did you do with my kids in these last couple of days? Because they're like, I love
how much
you.
relief is that to a
I
mother?
love you. Oh, my God. So then I started the bravery for women. So I do a 18 and over for women. Why? Because as women, wear so many hats. We do so much. We look up 5, 10, and 15 years ago. But we're working with the same tools, expecting different results. Historically, we've been on the back burner.
Yeah.
No more. We're going to put ourselves on the front burner when we're okay.
As you should be.
As it should be.
We
talk to talk about
it.
Yeah. As it should be. And when we're okay, everything's okay. So I do bravery. If you want to be in touch with me, ladies, let's go. Let's get it.
I'm waiting for y'all ladies to get, I don't know how we're going to do it, what I got to do, but it's time, our AOCs of the world step up, come out, because women, they know how to run a household.
Yes.
Right? They know how to help all these kids survive and sustain and thrive into adulthood and become these young men and women who are running the world, who are doing the amazing work out there. When are we going to get a woman in office?
Let me
in
say
all
this
the
to
offices?
you. Let me say this to you. We're not talking about that. Let me say this to you. As you go and grow, and you're doing a great job, by the way. You look great. I want you to understand that. I'm so happy for you and what you're doing here, and allowing people and growing. But as you go, and we're talking about the problems, let's focus on what are some of the solutions.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about problems all day and all night.
Right.
What are the solution and what is working? Because once they are awake, present, and intentional, now we can teach them whatever we need to teach them. Finances.
And aware.
Oh, come on. Oh.
And that's what I love about what we're doing here on the show.
Awaken them.
And I think we are doing that, through the power of social media, which is a beautiful thing if used correctly.
If you use it correctly. You got to love life. Say that. If you what?
Listen, if you use it the right way.
Thank you.
It's very easy to get distracted and
that too.
Do crazy stuff on there. But it's so important for the survival of our species, bro. We're going to keep killing each other. And we're going to be our own demise.
We're going to talk more.
But we're not going to be.
No, we're not.
Because there's plenty of people out there like us who are actually coming forth with solutions.
Absolutely.
And putting our money where our mouth is, putting our best foot forward.
Absolutely. And the good fight.
I want to bring up again a shout out to D.A. Joe Early.
Yes.
Shout out to
Sheriff Lou. Yes.
And the reason why I say that, which I got to get them on my show. It's been a while since Sheriff Lou's been here, and D.A. Joe Early. We'll get him when he's a busy guy too.
So,
we understand.
Yeah, they're busy.
He did say he wants to come on, so we're working on that. But what I like about those two gentlemen is they're always thinking of solutions to prevent, because they're overwhelmed too. They got a lot of people going through their system, and they want to kind of shorten them lines.
Isn't that amazing?
And they're trying to us to do it.
What they're dealing with, and there's got to be consequences to people that do what they do.
Right.
They are looking for solutions, and that is everything to me.
Right.
That is everything to me. What they can count on for me is give my 100%.
Absolutely.
And they already know that.
Absolutely. And give us the opportunity to correct and rehabilitate our children.
It takes a village. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Because they don't need to be behind bars to do that. We just need to get them early enough to make sure they don't end up there.
And it's happening.
And we're doing
as we speak.
With the torch.
That's right. So that all these other organizations you're working, you know what I'm saying? The YWCA, the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, Worcester Youth Center, all of them that have all of these amazing things. And other things that have it. Now the kids are awake, present, and intentional. Although we all win.
Yes, absolutely. And also, I want to shout out to Youth Works Worcester, which is another amazing program. So many amazing programs. We got to get to our youth. We got to do it before anything or any of those negative things we were talking about get there. We got to come.
Absolutely.
Because we know what to do.
We got
the solutions.
And we're doing it. We'll talk more about that, okay?
All right. Well, John gave us the thing. I got to shut up now. He gave us the sign. I can't believe this has gone so fast and it's over already. But will you come back and we can talk more? Before we go, I really want people... I don't want to sell your book. I want people to get those gems that I received.
Oh, you picked Europe. I put it down. You picked it right up, right? It's not about selling the book.
It's not about it. It's about
getting the information.
That absolutely. And I was very hurt, very negative, very in my own mind, and couldn't get out of my own way. And I'm telling you. And it ain't even that expensive. I'll make you go on Amazon and figure out how much it is, because it's really not that bad. And the value is invaluable of what you're going to get out of this book. So make sure you go get yourself Breaking Cycles, available now on Amazon. I'm sorry, Breaking Cycles and Building Your Legacy.
That's right. Bad. And finding redemption on the road to recovery.
Okay.
Come on, somebody.
Let's improve our own lives.
Thank you to my family. Thank you to you.
You're very welcome.
And most importantly, thank you to God.
Absolutely. Give me some love. I love you, Miss Dianne. Thank you so much. And with that being said, this has been another very heartfelt episode of Interviews with the one, the only Miss Dianne Langford James.
Thank you.
And I very much look forward to seeing you again.
Absolutely.
But for now, thank you guys too for tuning in and having fun with us, and hopefully picking up some gems and learning how we can all come together, village mentality, to make our community better. But for now, I'm Manny.
I'm Dianne Langford James.
And this is Interviews on Manny J Media, community
Manny J
delivered. We'll see you
Media.
real soon. Peace.